afternoon. We are visiting a world today that, frankly, just amazes me. Here I am. I'm staring at the water. Now I'm staring at the shore. Now I'm staring at a bay. What am I doing? Well, folks, it's Transportation Tuesday, and I'm riding the subway. What, you might ask? What is this? Welcome to Broad Channel, home of the other shuttle and a truly unique station. Join me, Terry Dixon, for an adventure for anyone as we talk about this station and the third shuttle in New York. Broad Channel is way out here in Jamaica Bay on your way to Far Rockaway. It's a long hour-and-a-half trip from Grand Central on the A train. Now, don't take the A train to Lefferts Boulevard and Ozone Park. Only take that Far Rockaway A. That's the only one that's going to take you to Broad Channel. Now, why is Broad Channel called Broad Channel? Well, if you looked at that map a minute ago, this subway station sits on an island in the water. It is the least used subway station in the entire city because only about 3,000 people live where they would want to get off the subway here. So you might ask, it looks like a big station. It is an above ground station. Obviously, it looks like kind of a pretty area, although it does have flood barrier issues and a few other odds and ends. So what goes on here? Well, Far Rockaway is on the east end of this peninsula that sticks out called Rockaway. On the other end is the Rockaway Beach Park. The subway comes into this situation above ground, over water, and in the middle of this peninsula. So the solution was, for all intents and purposes, to create a shuttle, an extra train that would go down to the west end of Rockaway. So here, if you want to go down to Rockaway Park, there's your friend, that shuttle train sitting over there. So you come here, whether you come in from Far Rockaway or you come in from the city over the water, you get off here and you wait until your shuttle shows up, and then you can take the shuttle the other way and go down to these famous beaches that we'll be showing you a little bit of the rest of the week in Far Rockaway. Now, whose idea was this? Well, I don't honestly know, but there's been a railroad station on that island off and on since the early 1880s. They had the Long Island Railroad out there, other trains out there, and then in 1950 there was a big fire at what used to be the station. Then they had to rebuild it, and it has been the MTA ever since then, and then they, figured out the shuttle and the A train and everything going out there. It also has had many problems over the years. This is low-lying ground. Look at that. That is the North Channel Bridge you're looking at. That thing's 3.5 miles long. It's nothing but tracks over water, folks. You're looking straight down at the water and at the hardware underneath the train as you're going across that thing. But you do have a beautiful view of JFK on the other side of Jamaica Bay there. But many times there's been flood problems out that way. Superstorm Sandy made a real mess of it. So this train has had its ups and downs as to getting all the way out to Far Rockaway. But currently it's operating beautifully. You've even got an art-covered train running around out there on the A line. So right now is a really good time to take this train. It's a regular old $3 ride each way. It is your cheapest way to get to Far Rockaway by mass transit. As you can see, there's this beautiful bridge out there. It is there because this is Jamaica Bay. Those tracks come across 3.5 miles to get from Howard Beach over to Broad Channel. And then you have this other, I don't know, I think it's about a mile that goes from Broad Channel onto the peninsula at Rockaway. And you go up and over that bridge because you have some, people out there on their boats. They're going fishing, they're tooling around. They live more down toward Far Rockaway and they need to go home. There you go. That's how that works. There's also a wildlife refuge on the island out there. So here is the other end of this shuttle. This is down at Rockaway Beach at 116th Street and Beach Avenue. And that is the end of the line on the shuttle that way. At Mott Avenue and Far Rockaway is the A train's final berth on the other end. So as you can see, it's out here, sits on an island of about 3,000 people in a wildlife refuge. It is a long ride out there. We'll show you some other ways that you can get out to Far Rockaway. Tomorrow, to be honest, is going to be the next video coming. So as you can see, it's very scenic out there, whether you're looking at it or you're riding on it. It doesn't matter how you look at this one. It is a really, truly unique place. All of Far Rockaway is. I'll be telling you all about it. But this station here is something like I've never seen. It is the least used station in the city. It is one of the most bizarre locations. I've seen an actual subway train stop. It goes directly over water, but oh, what a view. So remember, if you go out to Far Rockaway, this is just one way to get out there to take that hour-and-a-half train from the center of the city to Broad Channel.